All right, Nick, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. The big question around this organization right now. What are they going to do at the quarterback position? Do they keep Wilson? Do they keep Fields? Do they draft somebody? Do they do all three? I think that is really the question is going around nowadays. But we've got some clarity. One of the quarterbacks from the Steelers has come on to the Pat McAfee show and made some statements, as well as some other people around the league talking about what exactly they're going to do at this quarterback position. But before we get into that, I'm Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, now, guys, I was alluding to, we've got some words from the horse's mouth. Quarterback Russell Wilson has gone onto the Pat McAfee show and talked about the quarterback contract situation with the Steelers, as well as we have another two-part article here of someone else's thoughts on the situation as well. Let's jump on into it and we can talk more about it on the other side. This first part is from Penn Live. It says the Pittsburgh Steelers have started contract talks with quarterback Russell Wilson. He said in an appearance on the Pat McAfee show Wednesday, Wilson signaled these are just preliminary talks, which does not say much about his future with the team, but it seems the Steelers are at least exploring what it might cost to keep Wilson. Secondarily, this is from ESPN. It says Jeremy Fowler writes, I still think it could go either way, and an NFL scouting director said, part of me feels that they bring back Russell. Either way, I expect them to draft a quarterback fairly high. They need someone who can be the answer long term. The Steelers select at number 21 overall in April. Hardly a place to find an elite quarterback in a weaker class. I think that's a hint right here that they still need to do something at the quarterback position immediately. They don't have the opportunity to go jump and get one of the top two prospects. So signing Russell Wilson, getting somebody else seems like a really good answer. Curious what your thoughts are on this one, Nick. But before we get to you, Steelers fan, in the comment section below, I know you all have a thought on this of what the Steelers should do. Do you want them to trade it all away, get up to the first rounds of the NFL draft and get a Steelers quarterback through the draft? Do you want them to keep Russell Wilson? Do you want them to keep Justin Fields? Do you want them to go out in free agency and find another quarterback? Let us know your thoughts on what they should do at the quarterback position in the comment section below. But nonetheless, Nick, what are your thoughts on this latest for Pittsburgh?
Yeah, so I think we're going to see a repeat of history here from the Pittsburgh Steelers. About 20 and a half years ago, 21 years ago, heading into the 2004 NFL draft, a lot of people thought the Steelers had a number of holes to address. They had quarterback Tommy Maddox, who had done some good things with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They felt that head coach Bill Cowher, it's been a long time since he made a deep playoff run. The 0-1 AFC Championship disappointment was a few years away. It was time to turn towards the future. How were they going to get back to the Super Bowl? How were they going to improve their roster? Jerome Bettis' career was getting closer to an end. And the Steelers surprised a lot of people. They selected quarterback Ben Roethlisberger out of the University of Miami, Ohio. That was the year when they were two clear-cut top quarterbacks in Eli Manning and Philip Rivers at the top of the draft. Ben Roethlisberger was the clear number 3. At that point, the Steelers got their quarterback of the future when no one really expected it, even though they already had a veteran on the roster. I think we're going to see the same exact thing here. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to sign Russell Wilson to a super team-friendly short-term deal. Maybe a good signing bonus, 2 or 3 year kind of concept, a lot of incentives if Russell Wilson does amazing things. But I also think they're going to draft a quarterback. Now, whether they use number 21 overall, whether they trade back into the end of the first round, beginning of the second, however they figure out and go about it, I don't think they move into the top 5 or anything like that to get Shadir Sanders or Cam Ward. I think they'd have to give up too much. And honestly, I don't know if any team in the top 3 that are looking to get a quarterback want to trade out of that situation. So I really do think the Pittsburgh Steelers, they draft a young quarterback in this upcoming draft and pair him with Russell Wilson, a la Roethlisberger, Tommy Maddox. I think the quarterback they most likely select, I don't know if Steelers fans will like this or not, is Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe. Very similar stylistically to Ben Roethlisberger coming out of school. Big guy, strong guy, known as a runner with a big arm. A lot of questions about passing and accuracy. Roethlisberger had those same questions. He came in with the Steelers, did some good things early, and of course became one of the all-time greats, Hall of Fame quarterback before it's all said and done. Phenomenal career. Milroe has a lot of question marks at the University of Alabama. What he did a lot of good things, a lot of concerning things as well. I think Mike Tomlin and the Steelers coaching staff falls in love with this kid. Remember, Arthur Smith and his staff, he's kind of got his imprint on the Steelers offense, the way they ran this year. They saw Justin Fields. They liked doing some funky things with him, zone reads. That's Milroe's MO. I could see the Steelers want to continue that and make that a full-time part of their offense, especially when people saw what Jane Daniels is now doing in the NFL playoffs this year. So I think we're going to see an interesting situation on the quarterback position. I think the Steelers, they're going to lock up Russell Wilson, team-friendly concept, make him their Tommy Maddox, and then look for their Ben Roethlisberger. I think it'll be Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, and I think, if you look at what pundits are saying early mock drafts, early, because this time of year, it's now acceptable to do mock drafts, not like 7 months ago when people were doing them, but these early mock drafts, they show the two quarterbacks at the top of the draft. Obviously, everyone knows Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, but outside of that, not many people have another quarterback taken in the first round. So that leaves the Pittsburgh Steelers. What it does is it gives them opportunity to select who they want at 21, or potentially shows that they could trade back or settle back into the second round and have their pick of a quarterback that they like. I think what you bring up here, really good answer. And in the article, it says it itself. They need a long-term answer. While yes, they may work on a short-term deal with Russell Wilson to get them through the hard spots, to get them through the transition of a quarterback, he is not the long-term answer. By far, he is not going to be your long-term answer at quarterback. He's not even close. But he's an okay stopgap. He's familiar with the team. He did some good stuff last year. Not quite enough to get him out of that, playoff win drought they've been in here since 2016, I believe. But I think this is a good opportunity for Pittsburgh to make some moves, get a quarterback through the draft, and have a veteran guy who is really, heralded. He's had a really good career, somebody good to learn from. It's just at the end of his career, he's not the future of your team.
And one final point to end on, Andrew Filipponi, who I'm sure a lot of you Steelers fans are very well aware of, big presence on social media, 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh. Here's what he had to say talking about Jalen Milroe. Quote, there are Steelers scouts who love Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe, believe he's a first-round talent and potential franchise quarterback. So we're not just making up stuff here. I think the Steelers are very interested in Milroe, and I think, again, the strategy is there. Lock up their Maddox, find their Roethlisberger, let history repeat. We'll have to see how it all shakes out, but it looks like things could get very interesting for the Steelers at the quarterback position.